Hello. Yeah, stay with Sir David the Bard. I know there's a couple of you girls that like these black shirts. And these days you don't care what body's in it, so here I am. Sir David the Bard, I'm coming to you out of Australia. Kangaroo City. My little kangaroos behaved tonight. And I'm wearing a pillow because I'm not going to mention any names, but there's a few of my female subscribers that notice sometimes I wear my underwear. Come on, get a life. 70-year-old man in his underwear, and it's worth mentioning. But you know, this is a kid show. Bring your kids right up to the screen. I'll tell them about life. So, you know, my manager, which I don't have, my writers, which I don't have, my light people, which I don't have, all told me, you know, wear the pillow and let the girls' tongues hang out, hoping for another underwear video. Anyway, there's a company called Ancestrycom. Now, this is a company that started. Now, I'm just telling you what I generally know. I could be wrong on some facts, figures, whatever, but I generally know that Ancestry.com started down in Utah County in Provo. And I think it was associated with some BYU students who got the idea of going to computers and setting up a genealogical data and information. And what they do, now, again, just click on it. I haven't clicked on it because I know my family is full of criminals, con men, scam men, and child molesters. I don't want to know my genealogy, but you might. So click on Ancestry.com and watch the Mormons take your money. It's like the old song, pennies from heaven. It's dollars from people to the prophet of the Mormons. Anyway, Ancestry.com was doing very, very well and making money. And years ago, in the Mormon Church, I tried to do some genealogy, and they had what they called microfiche. Now, I don't know where they got that word, but I do know what a microfiche machine is, and it's a piece of crap. So you put a piece of plastic down on it that has some information, and then you have this board that you can move, like a Ouija board. You can move it, and you can see dates and articles and newspaper this and that. And then you have to put the square in the box, and then pull the next microfiche out of the box to keep going. Well, the word arduous doesn't even begin to describe that system. And most Mormons go, screw this, I ain't going to do this. Well, the money in the Mormon Church basically comes off of the people who have temple recommends. Now, a cult has a clever way of secretly saying one thing and then doing the opposite. They say the right things, but they do the wrong thing. For a person to go to a Mormon temple to get married, to do baptisms for dead people, to get their endowment, you tell me what that word means, they have to pay a full tithe. And when they do that, then they can get a temple recommend. Well, full tithing goes into Monson. Tommy gets that money, and then he gives it to his friends. Trace the money. I ain't going to get into it. But anyway, temple work is very important choices in the Mormon Church because it keeps the church alive. If you can't find dead people, you got no one to baptize because very few people join now the Mormon Church. So the Mormon Church goes to dead people. Well, when they went to the Holocaust, what kind of a religion would go to the Holocaust files and baptize people who were gassed and burned to death. I guess 6 million. So those 6 million kept the temples of the Mormon Church going, because they had proxy names. Well, the Jewish government went to the Mormon Church and said, "Get your head out of your ass. Don't baptize our people anymore. They don't even believe in Jesus. They're Jews." And the church, okay, so there it goes. There goes the 6 million there. Well, back in the days when I was in the church, and those of you say I was excommunicated, you're full of shit. I resigned twice. I gave them 2 chances, and they blew each chance. But anyway, you used to go to graveyards. Now, this is scary shit, I think. You know, I'm not afraid of a graveyard. I am afraid of a graveyard. Anyway, you're supposed to go to a graveyard with a piece of paper and a crayon, and when you found a tombstone, you put the paper onto the tombstone, and then you rubbed with the crayon like a child's etch-a-sketch, and you would get the name and the date of the person. Well, hell, that was good enough for the Mormon Church. The rock was dead. Whether there was someone under it or not, who the hell knew? And the Mormon Church didn't really give a shit. They just wanted more names, because they wanted more tithe payers going to the temple. And I have seen statistics when the Mormons build a temple, within 25 or 50 miles of the temple, the tithing just triples. It's a good investment. You pay $2 or $3 million for a building, and for the rest of your life you get $8 million a year from it. That's a pretty good investment. Anyway, Ancestry.com figured out how to digitize all this stuff, and the smart people would not go and microfiche it anymore. They would just go online, and Ancestry would lead them to census, military records, and death certificates, etc. And you could find your skeleton family. Well, the Mormon Church looked down in Provo and said, "Holy shit, they're making money. We don't make money on genealogy, but we're going to." So they bought Ancestry.com. They bought the whole damn company, all the technology, all of the maintenance people, the janitor, the toilet paper holders. They bought everything. So now the Mormon Church has the largest genealogical library in the world, and it's digitized. All of those secret records that are up in the vaults and the canyons of Salt Lake City are just a waste of time and money, because it's all on computer now. So anyway, now here's how I think it works. I think it works. Now, again, I should look this stuff up, but when you're dealing with the Mormons, you don't have to. Do you think they're doing genealogical research for free? Never, never, never. Now, if they are, I will kiss their butt. I haven't even looked this up, but I have a strong testimony. Here's what happens. You put one name in, James Francis Maguiwa. That's your grandfather, okay? And Mr. Maguiwa's ancestry history comes up a little bit, and he was in the service, and he was in jail. He built 3 whorehouses in Kansas City, and he died a very rich man, faking that he was a gynecologist. Now that's interesting, grandfather, okay? So now you want to go back to his children, his wife, and your great-grandfather. Now the Mormon Church smiles. They go, "Put your credit card in there." Not only do they have your credit card number, but they have your money. So you do search after search after search, and they charge you for it. Well, they're making money off of you right there. And then when you turn the names in of the relatives that you found, then the temples need more people there, and they have to pay tithing to get there. So it's a circle of scam. It's worse than a Ponzi scheme, because in a Ponzi scheme, some people at the beginning get rich. No one is at the end. But this is the Mormon spin machine. Nobody gets rich but the Mormon Church and the lawyers and the corporate executives that thought this idea up. Now, when I'm done with this video, I'm going to go on Ancestry, because I could be an idiot here. I don't know. I could be being an idiot, and if I am, I'll come back on and take my video off so no one knows I'm an idiot. I don't do that. I've never removed one video. I've never removed one video. If I'm wrong, I'll come back on and say, well, you can check your Ancestry for free. There's nothing free in the Mormon Church. Now, here's the motivation behind this particular video. You know, the Mormon Church was one of the cruelest religions discriminating against black people for 170 years. Before 1978, if you were a negro, a nigger, a half-breed, you know, whatever words you want to use, you could join the Mormon Church and pay tithing, but you weren't allowed to be in the priesthood, and you weren't allowed to go to the temple and have all of the privileges of the Mormon Church. So the Mormon Church caused a lot of chaos, a lot of heartache in those black families, a lot of discrimination, a lot of destroying of ego. I think it was the only church, I could be wrong, but I think it's the only church that officially would not accept black people. And if you had one drop of black blood, it didn't have to be on you. If you had a black friend and he cut himself and he put one dot, a little bit of blood, right, you were gone. In the Mormon Church, you were gone. One drop of black blood. And I'm not sure what black blood is, because I've seen a lot of transfusions, and I say to the guy, is that a black blood? He goes, I don't know. I said, I sure feel like tap dancing and break dancing. I may want to start carrying baggage for a living or shining shoes. I have many, many black people who watch me, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I love them. They're good, good people. You know, the black men and women of this country are a real spinal column for the security of the United States of America. Their nigger brothers and sisters, they wish, and I wish, that they quit stealing cars, building and using whorehouses, drugging, not going to church, not going to school, and wearing a $30,000 necklace. All of us who are white and black wish those bastards would go somewhere else. But anyway, I appreciate my black audience, and they're fun. They give me a lot of funny comments, and it keeps me going. So, the Mormon Church now has a program that you can buy a block. I did an article here just 2 or 3 weeks ago on the Mormons would rent you an Indian. They just go from minority to minority, insulting them and besmirching them to cause pain and suffering, but they get their money. The Mormons get their money. So anyway, you can, when you used to be in the Mormon Church, you could buy a baby to adopt. They had social services in the Mormon Church where you could discourage young girls from having a baby, steal the baby, put it into LDS social services, and then you make a nice couple buy thousands and thousands of dollars to have a baby. Well, that's kind of gone out of business too, because of the the Hague law now. You really have to be qualified to adopt any child these days. And when the Mormon scam of adoption and hiding pregnant women and you know, all their polygamous crap, that's pretty much gone out of business. So you can rent an Indian from the Mormons, and you can now buy a black. Now the black was free. He or she used to be a slave, and then they came out, kind of like gay people, I guess, and said, I'm not a slave anymore. And they got in, I think, the 1870 census in the United States. Now, I do remember history a little bit, that a black person wasn't a full human. They were a quarter of a human. I don't know what quarter of the human body they were. Don't go there. Don't go there. But anyway, the Mormons now will not rent you an Indian. They ran out of Indians. They ran out of white babies to adopt. And so they're picking up another minority group, the black people. And the upfront PR appears that the Mormons are trying to help the united black people families to reunite them and pull them together through ancestry. Well, if you got a few bucks, you can buy a black. You can buy a black from the Mormons, and the more you search, I think the more it's going to cost you, and nothing's free, and you're going to get a lot of Mormon propaganda in that program now, that they want you to get married and come to their temple. Well, they really don't. They want you to pay your tithing. All the time I was in the temple, oh God, 50 years, I don't think I saw 5 black people. California, Oklahoma, where else do I live? Missouri, Massachusetts. You know, I could count the black people that were in my church. So anyway, times change. I'm sure the blacks are jamming the Mormon Church now. I know there'll be a Mormon that comes on here like, we've got 19 blacks. Well, yeah, you live in what? That's why you have 19 blacks. You're downtown Rhode Island. Anyway, I love my black audience. They're funny as hell. They're cute. Some of them are good looking. Boy, some of them are really good looking. So anyway, if you want to buy a black, go to Ancestry.com and look up with the Mormons. And don't be surprised if it's not accurate. Okay, those records are not very accurate, and you know the Mormons and records. They say they have 15 million members. They got 4 million, and some of them aren't even active. But anyway, if you can capture a rich black like Obama and make him pay 10% of his income the rest of his life, there's no reason to whip him. Just take his money. Just take his money. So anyway, congratulations to the blacks coming out of the closet and being citizens, and those of you that work hard and raise families, you certainly have my admiration. It's not an easy road for a black person to go through a white society and go to colleges and take classes that are discriminatory and hang in there, graduate, and then go out, get a good job, and make a difference in this world. So my hat's off to them. I don't wear hats, but it's still off to them. And go ahead and take a look. I'm going to go take a look right now at Ancestry.com and see, you know, if you really can buy a black. I've got a link down below. You can jump on that. And I hope that you can pay, lay, and ail me. Oh God, hear the words of my mouth 3 times, the true order of prayer, which the blacks were never allowed to have. And before 1978, when the IRS got on the Mormon Church, Jesus came down and said, hell, we're going to lose money. Tell the Mormons the blacks can come in now. And the penalties, they used to be to cut my throat, cut my heart out, cut my gut out. And the name of the second token of the Melchizedek priesthood, the patriarchal grip or sure sign is the nail, is health in the navel, marrow in the bones, strength in the loins, and in the sinews, power and the priesthood be upon me, and upon my posterity through all generations of time, and throughout all eternity. Now let me close with just a couple of comments. I can't handle, I'm too old, I can't handle all the comments. I have people that want to know a little bit about my disability monies. How do you get disability monies from the federal government? I've got a lot of people that say, can you be my counselor? And the answer is no. I don't have a degree. Well, I do have a degree, but I don't want to counsel you. I've seen it all, I've heard it all, and you're not going to give me any new information. And I'm too old. I don't want to spend hours and hours working again. or being on the phone. I have one friend, Ron. I've been a derelict to Ron. He invited me over for movies, and God, I went all over northeast or northwest United States and never got back to him. And so those of you that when I don't answer your questions, please don't feel that I don't read them and that I wouldn't answer them if I could. There's just too many of them, and I'm too old and too disjointed. I would love to meet many of you. Most of you I don't want to meet. Don't come to Kangaroo City. Don't send me kangaroos. I have enough kangaroos. I love my job. I love you as an audience. I'll get a few Mormons that are mean-spirited, that are, trying to keep themselves convinced that Joseph Smith bouncing up and down on a 14-year-old is what prophets do. Not in my church. I'm an atheist. I've had enough golden plates that nobody saw, and enough of 14-year-olds being married, and young girls, 12 years old, being married for polygamists. I've had enough of your religions. I've had enough. I've seen the Catholic Inquisition. I've been down south with the Baptists. I'm not into, the Episcopalians, the Lutherans. I don't have any animosity towards you that are religious. If it floats your boat, it makes you feel better, it gives you comfort, you go for it. Let me mention too, Mercy's parents, they were supposed to be here last week. I was going to California to pick them up, and the American embassy in the Philippines, in Manila, broke down, and so did all of the other embassies in the world, and also the passport. The ability to print a passport or to print a immigrant green card, I don't know, it went down the toilet. So they're working on it. I think they passed. I think they'll eventually get their green card. We had to move their airline out 30 days, and so I'll go back to California and pick them up when they get it. But I know a couple of you are following our family, and they did everything right. And the Manila agency and the rest of the U.S. government has done everything wrong. So anyway, I love you as an audience. This makes my life worthwhile, that I can actually get out the things I see, and I don't have to talk to you. I don't have to look at the comments. And if I think I'm doing good, I'll just play my video back and go, yeah, that's a good video. And you know what's really interesting is that I'll do videos and somebody will write in and say, that is the most fabulous video I've ever seen. I really needed that. I had no idea that anyone would think that one was going to be good. And then another one chooses another one, and another one chooses another one. So I hope I'm reaching a diversity of people. And if I've made you laugh, if I've made you cry, if I've made you think, then my life has been worthwhile. And so thank you for being there. Thank you for being there. Thank you for putting the comments in. I read just about 98% of the comments, but I can't respond. This hand doesn't work anymore on the typewriter. This side of my brain can't remember who I am and where I've been. And I don't want to go into my underwear and what's in there that doesn't work. So anyway, the BART is starting to fall apart. I'm broken down, but I do know what's important in life. And you people are important. You're important. There's going to be good times. Again, I've been in 5 suicides. They were my own, and none of them worked. And I would have never been able to do this show and help anybody if any of those suicides had worked. I've been down in the mud, the blood, and the beer, and I want you to know that you and me can climb out. I'm going to tell you something else I discovered today. Most of us mourn the families that we've lost. Children, wives, husbands, grandparents. We mourn those families. You know what I found? That's a waste of my life. I have a better family than I ever had of those that I would mourn. Build a better family. Build better relationships. Give more. Sacrifice more. Build families now after you lost through divorce or death. You can't live in the past, and neither can I. And that's why I came up with this show. That's why I have my sweet Filipino wife. She kicks my ass all the time, and my kids are wonderful. And I just want you to know I can be happy, and you can be happy. Go get yourself a new family. Go get yourself a new family. Don't lay around going, oh, they won't come and visit me. Oh, they don't like me. Oh, I had 2 texts on Father's Day. 14 kids, 2 texts. Screw them. I don't care. The 2 that I got, I really value. The 2 that I got really value. And we're riding in the car. I had no idea what day it was. And Allison said to me, Dad, happy Father's Day. And I said, oh, okay, I didn't even know it was Father's Day. Neither do I care about birthdays and holidays. I'm bipolar. Calendars mean nothing to us. Go get a better family. Go get a better wife. Go get a better husband. Go get kids that respect you and honor you and make you smile and be happy. My little one just went over to the supermarket for me. I had to pay her $2. She didn't love me that much. I had to pay her $2 to bring me back a couple of donuts. Let me tell you something. I've been poor. I've been poor. I'm not rich now. But you know what? On this vacation I just came back from, you know I have this new car, and it's like a toy. I mean, if this car was a penis, it would be the greatest penis in the world. It does everything. It does everything. It's kind of like finding a new wife, and as you married her, you find out she's got 2 clits. Things get better. Good deals become better. Let me tell you, at sea level, I was right there at the beach in California, where I was raised. I was raised in California, right at the beach there in Big Sur. I came out. No, I didn't come out like that. No, I came out of the parking lot, and there was a little grapple that I started on. But let me tell you something. Sea level, California, and turbocharged. Ah, God, it's like 1,000 orgasms all at the same minute. Unbelievable. It laid 10 feet of rubber. This old man's car. And when it shifted, it shifted into 2 more patches of rubber. And I go from like 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. I love it. I'm coming back across California. I told my kids, I said, I've come back across these deserts with no air conditioning. None. I came back one year with no air conditioning and had to run the heater on high to keep the engine from boiling over. 110, 105, Death Valley, 135. I'm sitting in this magnificent machine, and I have Coke, cold Coke, and it don't it. And I can say to the radio, the radio talks, and so I can talk back to it. I can, that station sucks. Give me Sirius XM channel number 5. Yes, sir. Comes right up. I'm listening to the oldies. I got a damn milk, a donut, and a cookie, and a bag of chips in case I run out of what's up here. And I have a moonroof that opens up, and the other half of the car is totally glass. So Allison will say, Dad, I want to see the moon and the sun. And the thing goes all the way back. And she can see that. No stress. The car drives itself. All I have to do is steer it. And I'm thinking my favorite color when I was in high school was black. And I've got a triple black Hyundai with leather and every accessory on it that man could invent. I went and got that. I came from cars that I had in the wintertime, jumper cables, every day. I couldn't afford a battery. I couldn't, but I'd go out to my neighbors and say, can you give me a jump? I climbed under cars for years, putting starters on them. Always wore starters out. Don't know why. Heaters that leak water inside the car. Love it. Windshield wipers that don't wipe the windshield. Air conditioning, hell, that was for rich people. You know, back in the days when I was growing up, we had a water cooler. It was an air conditioner. And what you did is you put water in it, and then you rolled it up in the window on the passenger side. And the wind would turn the little thing inside. And the water would evaporate, and it would throw supposedly cool air into the car. It didn't work with shit, but it looked like you were rich. You had outside air conditioning. When we drove in the desert, there was no water. We used to carry a water bag, a canvas, leather type water bag. We'd fill it up with like 3 gallons of water, and we would hang it on the front bumper of the car so the wind would go through it and cool it down. So if we wanted a drink of water, we didn't pull into Chevron. We pulled into the desert and took out the bag of water like cowboys, and we passed around the bag of water. I've done better. I have a better wife, better children, better house, a better car. I haven't spent hardly any time on the past. The past is gone. I can't change it, nor do I want to change it. It's there. I remember one year from BYU, I had a bump on a tire. It was big as a grapefruit on the side tire, and a family in the car. I pulled into the gas station, and the guy said, "Oh my God, did you see? You're going to have a blowout." And I said, "How do you know?" And he says, "Well, there's a bump on there that's as big as a baseball or a grapefruit." And I said, "Well, how do you know that that's not extra air?" He goes, "Get out of here." I'm driving, middle of the night, 1 o'clock in the morning, 65 miles an hour with that damn tire going round and round and round, and finally being able to get to my parents' home in California and get another used tire. Not new. Now I buy $500-600 worth of 90,000 mile Michelins. Back there, I'd pull into a gas station, and if it had tread on it, $5 or $10, I was good for another couple of months. Been there, done that. I've had bad cars, I've had bad wives, I've had bad children, and goddamn, I had a bad religion, the Mormon religion. And I've had bad jobs, and I could look back and boo-hoo, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. But I didn't. And I'm so glad, because I can sit in this chair and say to you, if I can do it, any bozo can do it. I don't care if you're a single mom and you're 58 years old and you've got 3 kids living at home with you. You put a damn smile on your face and dress up the best way you can. I don't care if you're wearing a size 18 dress. Doesn't matter. Get out there. Somebody will see you. Somebody will think you're funny. Probably the way you're dressed. No, they will like your personality. And suddenly you get rid of the son of a bitch that left you with those 3 kids, beat you up at night, and hasn't sent any child support. Yes?
Where's Mom?
I'm on my show.
I know, but where's Mom?
I don't know where Mom is. She probably ran away. Okay.
What'd you do?
Goodbye. I didn't do anything. Get out of here. What I do? Why did Mom run away? It's probably a good question, but this time I didn't do anything. Please, take the advice of an old man. You can be happy. You know, I had pain today in one of my diabetic feet, and it would vibrate or tremor, and I couldn't hardly stand on it. Screw it. I got one other good foot. I can hop. I can hop. I've got kangaroos. They've taught me to hop. I don't care if you don't have arms or an eye or an ear. I don't care if you have a brain. And most of my viewers, some of them don't have brains, the Mormons. But anyway, get a better life. Make a better life. Be a better person. Be kinder. Be more gentle. More understanding. Read. Educate yourself. So somebody will want you. I am so happy that I found Mercy. And she kicks my ass. I tell you that all the time. In my car, because I'm old, I've got 3 GPS units. And in fact, no, I've got 4, because my cell phone, you can put on Google and it will GPS all night too. All of those GPS machines there, and I still sometimes get lost, because one of them will say go this way and the other will say go this way. And I'll say, Mercy, holy shit, which way should I go? She goes, well, this one matches that one. Let's take these 2. This one doesn't know what it's doing. She's so cute. And when she wakes up, I have a Filipino verbal GPS. Slow down. She found in my car, which I found too. I tell you, every day I find something new in this car. There is a computer that will say curve. If I'm going too fast, which sometimes I do, and she sees a curve, she'll go, curve, ahead, curve. So I slow down. And so now Mercy will sit beside me and go, slow down, curve, curve. Shut up. I'd send that GPS back to the Philippines if she wasn't so kind to me. So anyway, make yourself a better life. Don't live the last 5 or 10 years of your life miserable, in pain. God damn, we're all in pain. We all forget everything. The body we had when we were 22, well, maybe you still have yours. I don't. And we have the aches and the pains. And you know what? I just got allergic to milk. I didn't know I was allergic. I've never been allergic to milk. And now I go into a restaurant and say, I have a milk. 30 seconds later, I throw up. Well, and then I have the restaurant to myself. All the people leaving, holy shit, the guy's barking all over the place. Well, it's the bark. So now I have to, be careful when I drink milk. I have diabetes, and, my computer has made my life wonderful and lowered that sugar. Go get yourself another damn life. And forget the people that don't call, that don't write, that have turned out to be 14-karat gold assholes. You are worth it. I didn't know I was funny. I didn't. Because my family always said, you'll never amount to anything. You're dumb. You're bipolar. You're anger control management. Well, it took me 10 years. I found meds. I've got pretty good anger control management these days. Not too much upsets me. I have a new life, and I made it. Jesus didn't do one goddamn thing. The Bard did. I met people. I took chances. I read. I get on the phone. I go to the courts. I go to meetings. I watch the news and then comment to you and put links down there. Go get yourself a real life. Take those losers that are gone. You can't do anything about it. And make yourself a happy life. Again, anybody can do it. I'm almost 70 and I've done it. Thanks, this Bard's gone.